Hello, good morning. This is Tuesday morning. It's Music Ideas, and I know that been getting mixed views, and probably people want to press the thumb down level of my video about supporting Trump and Stacey Dash due to the fact the Jesus Flores murder case in the Black and Brown division here in Houston kind of prompted me, and it's strange when I was talking about this next thing yesterday morning. People are now talking about Stacey Dash endorsing for Trump, who's part Mexican, part black. Yeah, her mother's Mexican, her dad's African American descent, and his African roots come from here in the United States and from the Bahamas. That's where the Dame Dash family from. That's her cousin. Okay, the reason why I'm gonna bring this up. Do I like Trump? No, I don't. Do I think Trump will be a good president? No, I don't. Do I want Trump to be? No, I don't. Do I think that white people are greater or anything, or my white ancestry is greater than anything? Then no. That's I mixed with it, besides black and Native American. I do not use the one drop rule, so those who shop what I say, be prepared, because I don't believe one drop rule has been an outdated law. I'm going to educate y'all again. Since 1967, when the Love vs. Virginia case that allowed interracial marriages to be legalized, Supreme Court considered one drop rule unconstitutional. And I do check more than one box, since the Census Bureau allowed us to check more than one box. After the minority civil rights groups like LULAC and NAACP, the Urban League, and Nassau Casa Raza, and also the American Indian Movement Asian League went against the multiracial category that was supposed to be on the census 2000. And I was a teenager, and I'm hoping to get that because I was going to myself check it, okay? Because that's my ancestry. I do not consider myself pure anything because I'm not, okay? So I'm not going to go along with something because someone wants me to be something that I'm not. All right. Well, the point is, the reason why I brought that up is because a lot of folks are very, very lost why I went there. As a minority myself, I'm tired that every time I vote, and I am a Democrat, for a Democrat to be, whether it be a person of color, like Obama, who's part white and part African American, or someone who is white, or even Hispanic candidate, or anybody, there's nothing to be done about this issue between black and brown racism. People of African American descent of non-Hispanic origin and Latinos beefing each other. I don't understand why that issue is always swept under the rug, but white people who are racist towards the minority groups are always the issue and always focused on. And so I said in my video that the reason that I'm against disgusted to see minorities act like white racists, calling each other, excuse me for language, the word niggers and webbacks and everything. When first of all, those words niggers and webbacks come from white racist people, not from the people who being suffered from those words. So instead of the people, our people, African American descent people and Hispanic people, who are both people of color, coming together to stop this issue and trying to see people as individuals and stop seeing people as a group by stereotype, because both of all of us are considered animals and savages among white racist people like the Trump supporters and the KKK and neo-Nazis who hate our guts, who don't want us in this country that's not even theirs. That's the reason why that I say, you know what, since they don't want to come together, and I say everybody is a group because we all individuals, but we see on social media, nobody's trying to resolve an issue to stop this beefing, okay, but beside with this Jesus Flores case, and not too long ago with the Trayvon Martin case, because, George Zimmer's part Peruvian, who's Hispanic. So, point is, the problem is we not resolving no issues. We're sitting here beefing amongst each other, being like we audition for the Klan when we say these W words and N words to each other. No one's not trying to say that. So why y'all beefing and being asleep and acting asleep while you're angry? You have a part black woman and part Mexican woman named Stacey Dash who's endorsing and campaigning for Trump, who want to kick our asses. Y'all don't understand that. You sitting here, and it's funny why I mentioned out voting for Trump to kick to make us humble and stop being idiots and humble ourselves and stop hating each other. Yesterday morning, people are now talking about Stacey Dash endorsing for Trump. She took a picture with Donald Trump. She looked beautiful, like I said in the video. She's a beautiful black-skinned woman. I don't see why folks have a problem mixing between the two. But at the same time, y'all don't want to resolve your issues. Y'all in the community that was also mostly white in one period of time. North Houston in that area, Fulton was mostly white long time ago. When minorities move in, whether it be African American or a person of African American descent or Hispanic moves in, and there's a bunch of minorities move in, you notice the white people move out. They see all of us as animals. They don't want it. So when they move out, they take their resources they was living good with them. Y'all have nothing to fall back on because no one in political power locally, not just presidential, locally, no one's not voting, no one's not trying to provide community, and yet you have the drugs come in. So the only time is why folks and white folks understand this. When you come into his mostly African American or Hispanic community, or a blend of both, like North Houston, white people look at you as either you're a cop trying to arrest somebody who's riding dirty, or who's not riding dirty, who's gonna be falsely accused, like this situation, with this man here who's Chade Calhoun was falsely accused, or you're there trying to bring drugs into the neighborhood and you're trying to poison the community, and then when the laws come, you don't get caught, but a black or brown person gets caught. Y'all understand? So that's the reason why. So they see you, and then also you're representing a group of people when you're because all of us not have mostly white DNA in us, both African American and Hispanic, but many of us do not look white. So when you come into community, you come in there and say, you look like the oppressor who's oppressing us. That's exactly the reason why. Because before this situation happened, I had a friend of mine who has disability, who is Latino. When I was living in the East Side, before I moved out and moved in Houston, okay, on my own, in my own apartment, he was telling me, him and his white friend, and he was from Corpus Christi, he had a disability. And he was telling me, you're black, I'm Hispanic. And I had to say, well, I'm a multiracial person, I know, and I had to educate him about the one drop rule. But he was saying, he said that, my friend here, he was laughing. He said, he's the only white guy in their neighborhood, mostly black and Hispanic, and they beefed. And I said, wait, hold up, that's not funny. And I did. That's not funny because I don't believe in racism. And so, but this was an area where this murder happened. And it's weird that, that we get mad at white people doing that to us. We do it to them, but we do it to each other. And we complain about racism happening to us, but we don't want to sit here and talk about our group and our communities, how we have racist tactics, about other people, particularly those of the opposite minority group, which is we're both struggling the same issues. And that's what I'm saying. So when I said that when white people move out with the resources that was there to live good, the communities go bloop. And it's not because the people of African American descent and Hispanic are inferior. No, it's not true. It's that they've been taught that to inferior to complexes. You notice when I talk about being famous and rich and things, people try to dumb me down, try to tell me because I got one job, black blood, I ain't gonna make it. And there's people within both of the communities. You have, but I said both. I didn't say one, I said both. You have folks who sit here want me to think reality, you're not 10, ain't gonna make it, quit dreaming, blah, blah, this and that. But if I looked like my white ancestry, look like a white person, it's suspected, you're gonna make it, yeah. That's why we've been taught, that's why I tend to get upset looking at the show Good Times, because when you think of Good Times, and this is after the Civil Rights Movement, you're seeing people in the ghetto. I'm glad to see Janet Jackson got her opportunity to become an actress at the time, and I love Janet Jackson. But the point is, I did not like the fact that it was depicted that you had to expect to live poor and you had no other place to go. Stop dreaming, stop hoping, stay where you're at. That's exactly that I got from looking at Good Times. I like the Jeffersons a bit. I like the Good Times. I want to look like George Jefferson, not James Evans. Okay, I don't want to live in the ghetto, and I live in the ghetto now. I wasn't raised in the ghetto. Okay, that's why my mentality and how I act and how I approach is totally different. And I maintain that because I don't like to buy into stereotypes, and I refuse to buy into stereotypes. But that's the reason why. Okay, so while they beefing, and of course they're looking for the murderer of this young boy, okay? But the problem is that you're picking color and using race. The same thing that you're saying about a black person is used towards Hispanics. Trump said it. The Latino immigrants were rapists and murderers. Same thing that they say about African American descendant people as being rapists and murderers and drug dealers. We go to Hollywood, and I'm glad Stacey Dash, who's Blaxican, said when they had the white boycott of the whiteness, and boycott whiteness, but boycott the only white Oscar night. Okay. Now, of course, I disagree with her trying to get rid of Black History Month and whatever. If it's Hispanic History Month, whatever, get rid of. I'm against her saying that, and it's silly. But she had a point. She said in her argument, she said the majority of white men in Hollywood are white liberals. They run Hollywood. They vote for Obama. They vote for Clinton. They're Democrat. Why that's going on that mostly white people get Oscars, but minorities, both Hispanic, African American, Asian American, mixed race, do not get Oscars. And you have people in the white community who are mixed race, who claim to be white, who get those Oscars and keep their non-white ancestry as another topic out the picture, okay? But point is, out of the public. But point is, that's the only way you can make that argument. But most of those, they have to identify white in order to get it, okay? So point is, that's the reason why that this is going on, she said. So, and I said, wait a minute, you're actually right, because I'm a struggling actress singing tomorrow. Why I haven't made it? And I did blame both minorities, because those within it, when I was struggling as in my 20s, I'm 37 this year, in the next couple of months. There were people of African American descent and Hispanic descent who wanted me to not sing in Spanish. It's funny, this was when SPM was getting big and everybody was promoting him, who's Mexican American, who's Latino, who was rapping. I had, and let me the reason why that I did not like Beyonce's father, way before him cheating on Tina. Because in '99, when I went to Tyler, which is Texas Arts Law attorneys, whatever, for entertainment, it's an entertainment lawyers. You pay $20, $25 a year, and they read your contracts. They had a seminar in 99 in November at a club during Saturday morning, afternoon, and I met Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles. When I mentioned my name, Zacarias, and he gave me that look, and I'm like, brother, please. So when I was happy to see, 10 years ago, Beyonce sings in Spanish on her B-Day album. Next day, I'm looking at her, well, why you allowed her to sing in Spanish when you got mad at me for saying Zacarias? So I knew, and I saw Latinos, when I'll never forget the Latin magazine. I used to, and I stopped supporting their magazine, because they used to have an office on Hillcroft Voss area, Westheimer. And I went, and this is when I was my own boss for trying to be my own boss with Equinox International, selling health products, which I found was a fraud by the government. And I'm glad I found 2000. Okay, and for Equinox, it was one of those multi-level coats. I was in there trying to be my own boss, and I wasn't hardly making enough money. And I found out how the gimmick works later on. Well, anyway, while I was there on the Voss Hillcroft location, not too far from Westheimer, Latin magazine, Houston, whatever it's called, Latino magazine, they laughed when I said, well, you have any avenues for me to sing in Spanish, I want to become an artist, and they looked at me strange. At 19 years old and 20 years old, I didn't notice, I noticed that, but now I would never support someone that doesn't support me. So that's why. And when I saw that, this situation, I'm kind of glad, not them as, because they was promoting Latin artists, not just only Mexican. They had Monifa, y'all know Monifa, do you really want to touch it? I know this, I found out she was Puerto Rican, okay, from the magazine, okay. That's when Shakira had that red hair before she dyed that blonde. I don't forget all this because I had their magazines. I started supporting them. I remember this when Thalia married, Tom Mottola in 2000, and then found out later on that, that's Mariah Carey's ex-husband, and Jennifer Lopez was there, she's dating Tom Mottola. That's why I know about this, y'all. Talking about Mariah Carey. Someone came around and did a video about Mariah Carey getting mad at Jennifer Lopez because she's not the reason why Tom Mottola and Mariah broke up, okay? Because remember, he helped her promote her album, her first album, they were dating, Tom Mottola. Anyway, they mentioned Michael Jackson was at the wedding in St. Patrick Cathedral. Okay, I'm glad that magazine went out of business because they reap what they sold. Instead of looking at color, but you prefer a Hispanic person, which I have no problem, but I hate the racist partiality and the favoritism and saying that one person can do something another can't. That's why I'm not too big on black issues, because it's always trying to keep you on I'm sorry, as I'm looking at it, you're telling the people in the community, are telling someone like myself to stay at the bottom. Don't move up. You sell out, and this and that. You have to be stereotypical, blah blah, this and that. You're not no room for individuality. If I don't find a room to individual, I'm not going to be defended. Okay, so I'm sorry. Yes, I do like to have my cake again too, and I am a spoiled brat. Okay, but it's not being spoiled brat. Everyone has a right to have their own taste. Okay, and have their own space. Don't put everybody in one group and try to tell them how to live their life. Okay, I'm very against that. So I'm not a collective person. So that's why. So I know that's why in the industry nobody want to promote me, because I did not sag my pants and call myself a nigga and look like the modern day stereoprofessional jigaboo that do some of these brothers in these hip hop videos look today. It's ridiculous how they market themselves, and they actually making us look terrible as a group. But that's the reason why. Okay, so going back to this situation here in Houston. It's funny, and speaking of hip-hop, we can come together. When hip-hop comes, you see black and Latino together. But when you go to Latin clubs, you don't see that mixture. Unless it's Afro-Latino or something like that, okay? When I went to a Fiesta de Mayo, it's like I saw Afro-Latinos, and I saw, Coco black and brown interracial couples, but I saw most Latinos, and one thing I tell my people, please learn Spanish. It's very educational, okay? Learning a different language it helps you educate. It helps you on an educational level, okay? It's not just sticking in one box. And one thing, I'm a part of person, I think outside the box. I don't think like everybody else. So, point is, so going back to the situation with the Stacey Dash situation, who's part black, part Mexican, who supported a white man, racist Donald Trump, why I'm supporting it, and why I'm due to the fact of the the racism between black and Latinos is not resolved. If black and Latino people, African American and Hispanic, do not try to get together and stop trying to act like animals amongst each other when it comes to racist issues and taking savage racist white tactics towards each other, as I say, savage racist white tactics, we're gonna be bamboozled by someone like Trump. Y'all sleep. Y'all trying to use y'all. It's stupid to see on social media the attitudes, the same stuff y'all say amongst each other will use against you by white people, white racist people. And let me tell you before I keep mentioning the mixture, the African mixture part of the mestizo mixture in Mexico, us being mixed with black, white, and Native American, and why we have similarity. The similarity, let me tell you the reason why. The reason why both groups don't know about this, they don't go to the library and read, and they do to keep it under the cover, okay? White people in Texas who control the educational buildings and schools and everything else do not want both groups to learn about each other, because if they do, they get rid of this big old veil amongst each other and come together and rise above this white supremacy, white racism, and they're afraid they're going to take up jobs, they're going to take up opportunities, become business owners, become part of society, and actually may become the mayor, may become the governor, because you notice that we have never had a non-white governor in Texas. Okay, so I don't know why that people that African American descendant community, I say African American descendant because I know from one job rule. Okay, so we are African descendant, we're not pure African. Okay, descendant. Okay, and those who are Hispanic do not try to come together to put somebody in office of color. And if it's someone of color who's in office, somebody was suspected to be someone who can go against the community and be for the white folks. Like you have someone like Stacey Dash, who's part black and part Mexican, who's getting praised by white people who hate us to support Trump. Okay? So y'all get that, or you call me hypocrite. No, you actually doing the job for them by beefing one another and being animals towards each other and being evil towards each other and teaching your children evil of hatred like the Ku Klux Klan teach their children amongst each other and being asleep while this is going on. It's to wake the both communities up. That's why I say I'm going to vote for Trump, to wake both the communities up and stop this bull crap. So going back to what I'm saying about the historical point, they don't want to see the similarities amongst each other. They don't want to see that we struggle the same thing. We people African American who mixed or pure, like the Black Seminoles cross of Rio Grande, you know what I'm saying, and Mexican army fighting against white slave massacre from Texas, trying to get them. Okay, they don't talk about this topic about the reason why the Alamo. Okay, why Texas got stolen because the anti-slavery law that was created by Vicente Guerrero, who was part Spaniard African named American, which is Afro Mestizo, second president of Mexico, who banned slavery in Mexico to stop that mess that was going on from Spain, who brought African slaves there in the beginning, who were trying to slave the Native American first and then slave the Africans later on. Okay, that's the reason why. So the caste system, that's what the racist caste system they had, the mulatto, mestizo, lobo, and all the other stuff they had in the colonial part of Mexico, Nueva España. Okay, so that's the reason why. They don't teach that in school because they'll see the similarity of both the struggle here in the United States and Mexico from both people of color. They don't want to see the mixtures. They rise together, come together, and not beef for another. Stop this big old I hate you and you hate you. I hate you because you Mexican and Latino. I hate you because you black and it's that. All that mess. Come together and fight the common enemy who's oppressing us. That's the reason why they keep you uneducated. When I bring these educational facts and these historical facts that you didn't learn from history class, because while I was learning that mess in school, I went to watch my camera scan mixed black white Native American behind, and as a teenager to the library, and I searched on the internet, matched stories together, saw documentaries and everything else way before they had Black Latin America, Mexico, Peru, the Black Rabbit Closet. I read way before that, reading the Encyclopedia of Mexico, that mentioned African Mexicans in Mexico, why this is going on, why this is kept secret, because Jose Vasconcelos' Cosmic Race, the paper, the essay, the essay is a paper, not Charles. The essay, the paper you write in school, knocking down the African mixture in Mexico, and hopefully mix me, mejor raza situation, so the race would get better by being lighter. That's why you see the Mexicans don't look too much black, because that, okay? Because they want, mejor raza. Mejor raza means better race by marrying someone who looks close to white, in order to make the future generation, okay? If you notice that many Mexicans if they are very light skinned, very fair skinned, they have darker relatives, grandparents, whatever, go back. That's exactly what happened, okay? They don't want to teach it. The same here in our community. We have that as well, okay? People have right to marry who they want to marry, but we have that situation goes on as well. With the colorism, because we come in different shades, like I'm caramel, okay? I'm not dark chocolate, okay? And that was the big issue. And I would mention even my own father. I'm lighter than my father, and he would bring, was happy that I came out a lighter shade than him, okay? Because my mother's my shade, okay? So, yeah, okay? So a lot of Mexicans would tell you the same, and a lot of other Latinos would tell you the same thing, the colorism isn't there, okay? But the point is, and it's true, because when I was a child growing up and I was much lighter than I am right now, my dad would put his face to his face, and be happy, he was very Afrocentric in a way, but the whole other subject. That's why me and him are two different coins when it comes to politics and everything else. And even I'm not as masculine as he is. And he is the subject. But anyway, point is, that's the reason why. Okay, we're not. We have similarities. We go through the same issue, and we've learned about each other and get over past this junk. We gonna fight the common enemy, and it's not white people as a whole. It's the white races. Not every white person is a racist. Who's attacking us, who don't want to learn about each other, who want to dumb us down, and then teach us to be like drug dealers, cholos, gangster thugs, be ratchet, get hoe, and barrio, not rich barrio, not Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico means rich neighborhood. Barrio pobre, be stuck in that element, because instead of come out of that element and go to their communities, that's why they run and take the resources, okay? They want you to stay there. So when they leave the community and let you run it, and no one's not running the way it's supposed to be run, and the resources are gone, then you have people African American and Hispanic descent, now all have the tendency, the temptation to do drug dealing, gang banging, prostitution, pimping women and all other stuff. All this other stuff, like for example, you see prostitution in North Houston, and you have prostitution down on Telephone Road. Okay, it's like everywhere you go in the hood, but in Fifth Ward, prostitution there. Okay, that's why. Okay, instead of people trying to clean that up, okay, you have folks who run the those who disintegrate in the community are running the community. Okay, and the cops they target them, but they're also letting them get by with it because they want both the communities to die out. Okay, so they can go back to being white again. And that's exactly that you're going on with it when you fight and kill each other in jails and stuff and gang violence and stuff, because they want to see both the communities go away and they take over once again. So that's why they're talking about putting a fence around it. They ain't talking about putting a fence in Canada. Okay? They don't exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's why, because Mexican people or mixed race people of color. Okay? Okay, so that's why they don't want to see, talking about ISIS, they don't want to see that. They want white American become white Anglo-Saxon Protestant again. Okay, that's exactly like it was back in the 20s and everything. They want that to be the dominance of this country. They want to keep it like it is. And y'all sitting here fighting each other about what happened to this young man, and God rest his soul, and my heart goes out. But instead of focusing on the case as an individual, as an individual, you're using race to dictate the case, because anybody have killed. Like I said on my tweets, black folks, we're not pure black, but black folks kill each other. Hispanic folks kill each other. You go from New York and LA, you have, you know what I'm saying, you have in Chicago, where it's rampant gang violence. And you have, what's his name? You know, in Mexico, folks from Mexico are afraid. People go from here who have family in Mexico afraid to go to Mexico because they can find nobody, even though the African mixture is there. Not everybody looks like Che Calhoun, okay? So, you know, so you have people who don't look black, they got the Indian DNA, but they're not gonna kill, you know, mixed with Spanish, Native American, gonna kill their child, okay? Over some drug cartel situation, okay? So we can't put blame on each other, because even if the two groups were to divide and have their own communities, it still will go on within their own communities. It does not make any sense to call each other animals and savage and oh, y'all like that, because we see on the news. And one thing about the news media is very racist. They will focus on black and Hispanic men, or black identified, should I say, mixed men of African American and Hispanic and other people of color as being terrorists, Middle Eastern people, terrorists, thugs, cholos, gangsters, all that negative images, those negative stereotypical images are promoted by the white so-called liberal media to make us look terrible about each other, to make us feel bad about each other, make us look like we're inferior amongst each other. That's the whole reason why white people, when you hear white criminals, they don't get too much news coverage unless they do something big, like the Friends guy. Remember the Friends of the white dude when came, that's the only time. But we hear white, you know, most people understand most crimes are committed from people within their own community. It's not from people outside of their community. It is more so you have more white on white crime, more black on black crime, more Hispanic crime. When people social segregate, they have to worry about the people within their own community, not the outside. But when people mix, people are taught that the other side is the enemy, when exactly you have enemies within all groups, no matter what color they are, okay? So that's the reason why. At the same time, while this going on, you have this part black, part Mexican woman, Stacey Dash, who's promoting this man to become the next president. And while y'all beefing and saying they gonna jump somebody in the hood or the body, or get some cholos to jump a brother, or a brother jump a Hispanic dude, all this other crap. While y'all talking this crap, acting like a bunch of white supremacists amongst each other, you got a white supremacist getting promoted by this part black Mexican woman. Okay, and y'all stupid and silly to let this go on instead of worry about the future for your children so both parties can be safe. You got somebody who will make it unsafe for you. So I said to myself, okay, since both the communities don't want to resolve their issues, they want to sit here and beef from one another. They want to go on social media, because I'm sorry, social media has a lot of reality in it. People say things they don't say in public. So if you got people, that's why I said in my tweets, if you saw it like it is, El Divo, I said I don't trust anyone, particularly people of color, and especially black and Hispanic. And it wasn't saying every black and Hispanic. I'm worried about the ones on social media that I normally don't see every day. They might meet, or, you know what I'm saying, and they might be friends and smile in your face, and then turn around and stab you back. That's what I'm scared of. Not scared of, but I'm focus on being as a warning, and you have those who are African American who may see me speaking Spanish, who can come and harass me, talking about the mother Mexican like that. Look, let me tell you something. Zach does bad by himself. I'm not committing no sin unless I choose to commit a sin. And if you know racism and stereotyping and prejudging is a sin, then in hating somebody, hating. So don't come into me trying to be the tempter of the devil, trying to provoke me to do what you want to do. If you want to hate somebody based on someone else's color or ethnicity or race, whatever, then you do that on your own. Don't bring me into it, because I know in my own conscience, keyword, I don't want to do that. I don't want to hear all Mexicans like this, or all. I hate that bullshit, that racist stuff that both communities like to brag, they get mad by white folks doing them, but when they do it towards each other, it just sickens me. I know I'm sitting back, I'm saying, for real, y'all call, you're talking about savage, but that's people, the main people focused to be in prison cells are men of African American and Hispanic origin. They want to put these two men of color in prison, including myself, who's African American, in there so it can be the slaves of the next generation. More men of African American and Hispanic are being promoted to be put in jail than being put in college. That tells you something. When I watch, it's the same message you hear in like movies like South Central and Vida Loca. They saying the same doggone thing, that more of the men gonna be jailed, locked up, you know what I'm saying, and then they are in college. Okay? I don't understand why that both communities will stop this bull crap of hating each other, prejudging each other like the white race people do to them. And I'm saying it's them because I'm my own individual. Yes, I'm part of African American, but I don't be like this. But the individuals in the community who team up to do this crap, instead of teaming up to do some intelligent things, you team up to do ignorant things. And I don't understand that. So I said, you want to continue the ignorant people continue to run the city. Run that part of the city, instead of the intelligent people kick them folks and shun and say, hey man, stop being racist towards each other. We people of color, we need to come together. Stop this crap. You know what I'm saying? You sitting there alone. And I'm wondering that and I was saying to myself, I don't care what Lil' Kim did to her body. I don't care. It ain't did nothing to me. I love the fact this woman have a confidence. Because in her songs, she'll tell you she's very defensive. Anybody defensive, when someone talk trash, they're coming about each other. They know they're strong. You're not going to tear me down. Was You Can't Change Me from the LaBella album. And she said, I say things you're afraid to say. Okay? And that's how a person I am. I say things that folks in these both communities are afraid to talk about. I ain't going to be silent. I'm with Zach. If something's bothering Zach, I'm going to speak out loud. You're going to hear my voice, and my voice going to carry to the point someone hears me to stop the problem. I ain't going to sit here and be hollering and hush about it. I might do it for one small portion of my life, but once it keep on going over again, I'm going to speak up and I'm going to get loud because I don't want this in my future, okay? So that's the reason why. So if both communities don't understand, if you don't want to change your community and stop the violence within your own communities against each other, y'all go ahead and be part of the problem instead of part of the solution, then might as well Trump should go ahead and win and kick all our asses, all our minority asses, because y'all sitting here not doing nothing. Okay, y'all protesting now but way before this young man got killed, why there was no protest about the homeless problem, the Salvation Army letting these men stay outside and lot around and stuff like that? Why? I'm glad that they're doing that now, but why all this time? Way before the Metro Rail, I used to ride the 24? Was it 24? One of them buses go to North Line Mall, and I would see how messed up the neighborhood was and how dirty it was. And I saw this before the Metro Rail going up in the 90s, in the late 80s and 90s, how Fulton, Irvington, Harder Street, Elysian Street, all that area is crack infested, crack, cocaine, drug dealing, gang, all that other stuff goes on. This was during the Reagan situation going on, the Bush situation going on, where Bush was CIA before Reagan elected him to become president. Y'all didn't know that, right? Okay. So when they bought all the cocaine, and I always mentioned Latino and black men were being targeted. They always talk about the black. I'm not one of those people who try to exclude both, because since we both live together, eat together, go to school together. In these days now, it's starting to bring both communities together. That's what happened in New York when they had the Latinos in New York and Black. They got together. If the same unity, if there can happen there, can happen over here. Same thing. Point is, and also Northern California, not Southern. That's the whole discussion. But Northern California, one thing I love about the Black and Hispanic community in Northern California, that they're more union. One particular man, followed him on Facebook and not Instagram, on YouTube. I won't give out his real name, but he does. He's Salvadoran Mexican. He does race relations in Oakland, California. Oakland Latinos United. Yeah, this is him. Y'all follow him on Instagram, I mean YouTube. I don't want to tell his real name on Facebook because he don't play. You know what I'm saying? But he talks about, and he the one went to the art gallery and talked about the mixture of black mixture in Mexico, and he was talking about why I be ashamed. This is a Latino man saying this, okay? Yeah. So see, I hang. There's people say they don't mention this, but y'all, Zach hang with unique people. And I like to hang with unique people. I'm tired of being around people who want to be their friend's friend. Okay? When I'm talking about trying to please their friend and be their expectations. That's why I'm my own person. I like to hang with people who are their own people, who think outside the box. So yes, I do have Latino friends who are Mexicans and who mix in the back part of Mexico. Yes. You know, and I also follow groups online that talk about this such. And hello, when I went to Selma, we had Latino people, Mexican, Puerto Rican. No, we didn't know Puerto Rican. No, it was Colombia. She was Afro-Latina. We had Salvadorian, Venezuelan folks with us. Selma. Okay, we had Chicano. One Chicano guy that I follow him on Instagram. He's an educator and he's a big Malcolm X fan. Okay, you know what I'm saying. But he support Black Lives Matter. All y'all acting. I'm sorry to say this, and I'm being offensive. That the people in Mexico call the folks here pochos. That pocho want to be white mentality. Talking about bad about Black Lives Matter. Did you know there's a Latino Lives Matter? Did you know in California they also kill Latino men too? They've been put on news. Okay, Alejandro Neto, please look for him. He's no different than the Trayvon Martin situation. Trayvon. Well, as there was no pro, he's also putting Eric Garner and Michael Brown. To try to say, thank you. Angel Lopez, Angel Lopez. I mentioned those in what's the Romero, James Romero, whatever his name, the one that got killed by a police officer. Okay, it happens to Latino men too. Okay, so y'all stop sleeping. Okay, thank you. So I pick up all these, and I think that all these communities of color, of African Americans, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, get together and talk about these issues and stop trying to beef one of who has it worse than the other. That bullshit goes on. And that victimization, I understand, as a person of color, the victimization, you're right, that we have a right to be angry. Can we direct that anger in a non-racist manner? Can we direct the anger? We don't copycat the white supremacist attitude towards each other, because it's exactly that we're doing. And you gotta keep on doing this mess. I'm going to vote for a man who's going to teach it way better than you can. It's going to be Trump. You got a black Mexican woman who's going to promote this man. And I even said, let her be the vice president, because guess what? Saying, yeah, I understand. You can say she's sucking his, what's the call? I don't care if she is or not. Point is, while that's going on, and y'all beefing in a non-intelligent manner, here's a man about to become president, going to beat all of our asses to the point that it will say no blacks, Mexican, or dogs. That back in the day they say no Mexican, Negroes, or dogs. Okay, no Mexican, no Latino, black. They're gonna say that in white only. Okay, that's exactly gonna be next year. Y'all keep on practicing white racist attitudes towards each other, and let's see somebody who can teach you way better than they can. And actually, we got the attitude from. Okay, you have white supremacist groups going in California putting those on those against Muslims and Latinos. Y'all when Che Calhoun got false accused of killing Jose Flores, you have folks putting pictures of the America History X where the white skinhead stomped the brother's head on there. Okay, well guess what? You have a lot of white supremacists ready to stomp your head too. So why y'all, and you have black folks talking about illegals, talking like Donald Trump and all us like white meaning man and racist man, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, I mean, it's stupid for both minority groups to pick up ideologies from white racist people attack each other when it's used against us. That's my point. So why y'all sleeping and acting a fool and acting like a bunch of animals in a zoo? Because that's exactly what I saw on social media from both parties. White person who controls this country, who going to control this country next year, is going to take over and show us how he does it, okay? And it's going to hurt all of us. And he got a part black, part Mexican woman named Stacey Dash who's supported. So y'all keep on doing your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Keep hating on each other, criticizing each other, and stereotyping each other, and all that stuff. And at the same time, I'm going to vote for the person who's going to teach you way better. Because guess what? I don't want that man's office, but y'all ain't doing nothing about y'all not worrying about the killer, who it can be Hispanic or black, no matter what their color is. The individual, not the group, the individual. But you going by group stuff. And that's why I'm going to tell people, stop practicing collectivism, okay? Collectivism is slavery. Collectivism also is defamation of character. Because one person do one thing, you think the whole group thing, that's the ignorant thing. And the one thing, I know I've been cussing, acting a fool, but I'm going to say this. Ain't nobody God on this earth. Okay, nobody doesn't know what goes between the heart and the soul of a person and the mind. You can't sit here and say, one group of people do this, or you can't speak for all. You gotta speak for yourself, or maybe you say, well, people I hang with who haven't be like me does this. How about that? Instead of the whole group of people this, because I used to hate hearing minorities do that, and they'll tell me this. No, I'm my own individual. I hang with people. I like to meet people. If I had the money instead of social media, meet people face to face who I get along with. That's why I'm a loner. I don't like to be around people who follow the crowd. You know what I'm saying? If one crowd does something wrong, then you just as guilty by his association, right? That's the reason why I'm my own individual. That's why you see this how I act and everything, the appearance. I don't like to be like everybody else. I like to be my own individual. I like to stand out of the crowd. So that's the type of person I am. And it's what that gives. They even don't like this. That's political stuff. I'm glad she's still woman enough to step out the box and actually stand her stances. If many of us can do that type of thing, we'll make a difference. But we keep falling. Mean a fall. A fall is not. I'm my own leader. I'm a leader. And one thing, both I was saying on Twitter, that Jesus, why he want to become a doctor, he want to become a leader. Jesus Flores. I don't believe in horoscopes, but both of us are Leos. We both, yes, me and him are both Arcus babies. We're both Leos. And I noticed I don't believe in that star telling on God does, but for in my own personal experience, people sometimes fit their signs where they're born. If you know as Leo, I like attention. I like to be the leader. I like, I'm stubborn when someone trying to force me to do something I don't want to do. That's why I mentioned the video. I don't want to buy. Come in and talk about that. This and that. All this type of people do this and that. You better not come. I will go off on you because I hate that crap. I don't like to be stereotyped, so why should I stereotype someone else? So that's why we stay on our own ground. We unique. We different. That's why you see people in the entertainment industry. Even though crazy Madonna, she's a Leo. You have people who run like, but Obama is a Leo. He's birthday in August. I think also it's Clinton. I like Clinton, but we are Leos. We have to be a lead. We are natural born leaders. Why people intimidate about us because we don't like to follow the crowd. Even if we work at a company, we stand out as leaders. I mean, I noticed that people. I'm sorry, I don't want to be that have to follow. I will do what I have to do to work because I remember I'm thinking myself taking care of me because I'm working for somebody to take care of me, not the other way around. Okay, I'm to take care of them. At the same time, I'm not gonna always be that person there. I'm gonna focus on trying to be my own individual, own entrepreneur. I want to own my own business. I want to become an entertainer so it's both singing in Spanish and English, and also make more money, and also promote artists who are in the same bracket on individual level, not race, individual level like myself. So we need to see more individuality in entertainment instead of just seeing the coded images that we see today, especially the stereotypical hip hop. Because you notice. Latino hip hop and hip hop artists of African descent. If gangster hip hop would be reggaeton or Latino hip hop would be reggaeton or the urban hip hop, the Latin hip hop, or either would be Chicano rap, or either be African American artists who are being African people African American descent who are artists in the hip hop game. It has been stereotyped. It wasn't like that a long time ago. Now it's stereotyped. You don't hear songs like "This Is for La Raza" or "Hip Hop Hooray," or if it's about social, country rap like "Fight the Power," or what's the other song? Self Destruction. Y'all remember that song? Okay, that was a positive trying to tell folks to leave drug dealing and drugs alone. Hip hop, the racist people in hip hop, the white racist people, whether it be Jew or Gentile, had took over and made it to be the jigaboo, coon, stepping Fletcher, racist ideology of brothers, but also using the Latino version. They also trying to promote corridos. Corridos were not used for drugs. Corridos were about stories about people in like certain like blues, you know what I'm saying? Something like, you know what I'm saying? But in a Hispanic, you even speaking of Afro-Mexican, even Afro-Mexican slaves used corridos as slave songs. Okay, I'm glad that I read this from a Chicano writer. Okay, see, I don't get myself from Afrocentric people. I get it from people within the community who talk about the people don't promote. Okay, so as I'm bringing this up, but now you got corridos that used to talk about cutting someone's head off. It's like the gangster rap of corridos. You know what I'm saying? That's promoted. I have folks who are Hispanic who you talking about in the hood hearing somebody bitch and hoe and killing the, even funny, I hate the N-word, killing the nigga and all other stuff. When you go to these markets, you spend mercados, marketplaces, and if you know Spanish, you have children hearing someone cutting the head off at a drug cartel or something like that. This is horrific. Okay? This is what the music industry that white racist people, anyways, white folk runs. No, excuse me, they get a cut of every music that a person of color in this country make. They get a cut. It has to be promoted. Okay, it has to be Sony or Interscope, any places. This is promoted, and this is the reason why I promote it. So when minority youth hear this type of music, they go to jail. They think this is, you have to be, if you're black or brown, you gotta be gangster, cholo, ghetto, drug dealer, talking about bitches and hoes and calling niggas and all that stuff. You gotta be that image. So when you buy into that image, you thinking that this is just you, that's repetition of you. You got your homeboys, y'all party, y'all drink, y'all smoking blunts, then y'all with that all that stuff, y'all act crazy and fight. Law come put your behind in jail, and you become a statistic as a person African American, person Hispanic in jail, and you be part of the prison population. In this prison population, don't forget slavery in y'all. The 13th Amendment said in criminal offense, when you get put in jail, you're part of the prison system, which is a slave. Mass incarceration of men of African American descent and Hispanic is growing, and you have the people like Viacom that own BET and MTV and VH1. You have folks, banks, and everybody investing in prison populations, private prison owners that Bernie Sanders trying to go against, that folks don't want to vote for, which I do want to vote for him. That's the main candidate. But folks, y'all keep acting a fool. We might want to get the racist Trump to come in because Hillary Clinton, private prison owners, are trying to put her in there so she can try to get more population like her husband did, okay? Men of African American descent, Spanish descent, who are locked up for non-violent offenses get